do give you options. And when you learn how to create money off of thin air, off this paper system they call credit, they just made this shit up. They just made it up. Like, all right, we're gonna just get this score, and now you're worthy of some things. When we learn how to work this credit game, it gives you a confidence because you know you'll never stay broke.
You're never broke.
Now, your financial decisions might cause you to go broke.
Right.
So I can't say you never go broke. I can't say you'll never go broke. I say you'll never stay broke.
Stay. Never.
You could blow your credit. You could blow your bag. You could tweak out and get 100 racks and just want to man, I never had girlfriends before. I want to get all of them. I never had Jordans before. I'm going to get all of them. I never ate at Ruth's Christmas, the child, all these things. I want all of it. And you can blow your bag. But the cool part about credit is that, everybody repeat after me, all credit can be rebuilt, restored, repaired, and recycled. That means use again.
Right.
Right. So the cool part is once you get this information, this knowledge, the first K in Kingdom was knowledge.
Yes.
When you get this knowledge on how to use businesses, your credit, and LLCs to get hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, when you get this knowledge, you'll never ever stay broke in life. So this is the game that can unlock your kingdom. So I want to introduce one of our Trev partners, one of his buildings co-founders, one of our brothers in the community, Atlanta native, quiet, low-key financial genius who's going to break down some game for us, for the grown men, the wise kings, and the young kings. Even as a teenager, your parents can sign for you, your guardian can sign for you to have your own LLC. You can start building your credit as a teenager and literally leave school, you're going to get a game with a bag, legally. So without further ado, we're trying to rip an applause for our last instructor for today. We're going to talk money right now, King Energy.
I don't know, the energy leaving me somewhere right now. So look, I did a youth mentorship, I want to say like 5 years ago, before I actually hit some of the plateaus in this real estate in the game. So this is kind of like motivating for me to see all you young guys. And first thing I want to say is real 2-minute overview of what I do, what I am. I'm not sure if you guys know heard of Authentic Empire, but we signed Fujiano. I'm one of the owners of Authentic Empire. We did a $10 million deal with Atlantic, with Gucci Man, Fujiano. We have an administration publishing deal with Sony. We have like 5 multi-million-dollar companies under our umbrella. And that's just to start out with. But I just want to get out some game. I don't really like to talk a whole lot, game, right? So boom. First thing I want y'all to understand what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is a person that organizes businesses that takes on extreme financial risk. So that means you need money to be an entrepreneur, right? So I'm gonna double back because I heard a couple of things people were saying that I want to address about like the guy who does Twitch back there. So look, all you guys need to understand this right here is you are automatically a millionaire if you use this without even having to spend $1, right? I'm gonna give you some game. The Twitch guy, the guy who watches on the gamer. If you're not streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, you're losing money. You should have your mom immediately sign you up a YouTube account, a Spotify account, so you can monetize you actually playing the video game. Like you guys can see things. So this is just crazy. I want you guys to just think outside the box. When I started realizing that you can just eat food on YouTube and make millions of dollars.
Digging your nose.
So I have to say this to you guys. You would never ever be in this time and witness this time that we have to be able to be financially free by using this. I have made over $10 million on this phone, and the people who gave me the money have never seen me. So I want to give you another thing to think about, right? So my financial journey, I realized that black and white, yeah, that's cool. But like I said, I got over $10 million looking just like this. So it's a different game that you really need to play. And it's understanding how the bank works, right? When I started understanding money, debt, and credit, I realized that poor people save money. Rich people, wealthy people invest money in passive income that keeps coming back because they're trading time for money. I don't trade my money for time.
Right.
Get what I'm saying? So boom, I want to talk briefly about credit cards because I want to start with this to give y'all some game. But I do want to tell everybody in here, if you're using Instagram, if you're on YouTube, If you're spending time doing that and you are not monetizing it, then you're doing a disservice to yourself. You guys who play football back there, you guys should not just be training to say I want to play football. You should actually be recording your journey so you can monetize off of it. It should be a daily routine. So whenever time you're on the internet or your telephone, think about this is a business because I'm an entrepreneur and I want to make this another stream of income as I still go on my journey, because you don't want to live a life of working a job and you're unhappy, right? And as a caveat, before I get into this real quick credit game, I want to tell y'all something about my journey and how I even got here. So I wanted to play sports. I'm tall, kind of bigger guy, whatever. But I remember when it was an NFL shutdown and I was watching ESPN, right? And they was talking about how all the millions of dollars was getting missed and all that. And I'm looking at Jerry Jones and he didn't seem bothered. And it messed with me. And so I went and did some research. And I noticed that it was only 4 teams that was actually profitable that owned the team. So the people who owned the teams actually just have it as a contest. They was amused by the people they hired, because the people who have real wealth, they don't even care about that. It's a show-off contest. So after that, I said, you know what? I don't want to play sports. I want to hone the team, because they are the people who don't even care about what's actually happening from the degree that us as regular citizens do. So anyway, I want to tell you guys about credit, right? So credit is the foundation of building generational wealth. All businesses have credit. Banks get loans from other banks, they get another loan from another bank, they get a loan from the Federal Reserve Bank. So everybody is getting debt, right? And anytime you put your money into a bank account, they can leverage and they can borrow against your money or sell your money 10 times, right? So this is how the bank system works. So once I understood that, I knew I wanted to be in the same business that the bank was in, and I want to sell money too. Because they can't own, the bank doesn't own homes, it doesn't own cars. It can't, it's illegal. The only thing they do is buy and sell money. So I want to be a bank, right? And in order to be a bank, I understand I had to get some credit. So I'm going to give you guys some real quick tips. I don't know if you guys have credit scores or whatever, but if you don't know about a credit score, the main thing is you want to make sure you protect your credit like your life. It's just as important as air you breathe. If you don't know about credit, use that as the main focus of where you want to go. I'm going to give you an example. So if you graduate high school, you got these, I'm not sure what you, telling people in college right now, 19, 18 years old, you guys can literally make 100 grand off a profile, right? If you're not making 100 grand a year, you can make one, and they'll never have to see you, never have to talk to you. But if your profile is right, you can literally make $100,000 in credit cards in one day with one inquiry. That means I go to one bank and they give me 4 credit cards. That can sum up to 100 grand. You can use that and invest in your business, for example. So you want to go in business with a man right here. So you know what? I want to invest in your company, right? I want to buy a truck. What you need, I can invest in and become a partner. You can leverage your credit, buy a truck, or invest in his company, and now you're partners and you have a mentor at the same time. That's somebody you trust. In this business, you want to have people that you trust. This is proof economics. And you also want to put it back into the circle, right? So you can expand on what you're doing. So anyway, credit. You got business credit and personal credit. Business credit, for people who are into their world, you understand that if you have really good business credit and you know what you're doing, it doesn't report to your personal credit, right? And if your personal credit, if you know what you're doing, you can also leverage that as well and invest in things that are building your passive income. So I tell everybody before you even get large amounts of money or large amounts of credit, have a game plan. You already know what you want to do. You already know what you want to do. You already know what you want to do. When you already have a vision and a direction, then you do your due diligence on what you want to spend your money on, and you use your credit. You take the money off your credit, you leverage it into your business, and you start making cash flow, and you repeat and recycle, repeat and recycle. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of banks that you can go take a look at right now. Or I'm gonna give you a sequence. So the first banks you want to start looking at is your community banks. That's banks that are like maybe 1 or 2 branches locally. Small banks give out big money. Big banks give out small money to small businesses. You know why? Because big banks ain't got to take that little risk. Little banks got to take that little risk because they are businesses. They have to expand and they have to grow. So you want to start your relationships building with smaller banks. If one bank give you, we're going to say credit cards, because I could go with this all day, but I want to give you guys the credit card game. Real quick. So you got simple interest, compound interest. Right? The goal for us as entrepreneurs, we want our money to compound. The kind of debt we want to start with is simple. You know why? Because compound interest is every day. It compounds daily. That means if you get a car, you get a house note, you're paying compound interest. Example, if you buy a house today and you got a $100,000 and they give you a loan against it for 30 years, you're going to pay $300,000 at the end of the 30-year term because it compounded every day. But if you went and got a credit card, right, and let's say that credit card was $100,000, and you had a flip to pay it off within 30 days. Say it's 30 days. Then you could just flip the money and don't have to pay any interest on the money. Or even deeper than that, they have credit cards that will give you 12 months to use their money without charging you any interest. And I'm explaining to you why, because you got to understand this. America is the greatest country in the world because they understand this stuff is not real. I mean, I'm being, brass, but I really like to talk straight up. This shit is not real. It's a video game. Credit, everything you see is a video game. When you can wake up in the morning, go online, see a credit card offer, we're gonna give you $25,000, put in a couple of information, I got $100,000. How much work did you do to acquire that kind of cash? Because you need cash to invest in your business. So we like credit cards because of simple interest. Simple interest means for credit cards, you have 30 days to pay the debt off before they charge you interest. So if you're using your business side and you go over the 30-day period, then you can pay interest depending on what type of card you got. But if you're doing it on your business side, then it doesn't affect your personal credit. And the main thing you want to make sure that you're protecting at all times is your personal credit. So I just want to give you guys a couple of banks that you can utilize that can actually give you multiple credit cards for one inquiry, personal or business. American Express, you can get up to 3. You can get 2 you can get 2 credit cards and you can get 2 charge cards in the same day with 1 inquiry. Wow. Right? You can go to Bank of America, they'll give you 2 credit cards, 1 day, same inquiry. So let's count our money real quick. So Amex giving us all 4 credit cards. We got 4 cards and they had 10, let's say 10K, right? So now we got 40K on Amex. We go to BOA, they give us 2 cards, right? Cool, 2 cards. You gotta excuse my handwriting, but you get it. They both giving us 10K, right? So that's 1 day. So 1 day I walked away with 20K from one bank, and I walked away with 40K from another bank. Now I got 60K that I can do anything I want to do with to invest in my business. Most people don't even see $60,000 in a year. I just went to 2 banks, went online and applied for multiple credit cards because I know the banks to go to. I got the information on what these banks actually do, how they work. I haven't even got the chargeback, points and things, all the different perks that you get from having it, from credit cards, flying for free, rental cars, travel, et cetera, et cetera. Like I only fly first class because I use an American Express charge card. Business. And then I write it off because the thing about that is you can get this $60,000 and it's tax free. Matter of fact, they can't tax you on this debt. You can't get taxed on that. When people refi homes, you know what? I'm doing refi now. I'm gonna get 96K. And I can take 50 of that, go buy me something, go buy me a passive income with it, put 40 in my pocket, and then you know what? When they put it on my books, I'm gonna write it off. Because it's dead. Right? So it's a video game. So I don't want to go too deep. I can go piece by piece, but I do want to tell you guys that from all different aspects, from 12 to 24 to 37, focus on your credit. Not just understanding credit, but understanding what it is, why it exists, what are they doing with it, where is it going, feel me? Because you're not going to be a successful entrepreneur if you don't understand finance. Come on, man. Money.
So I think you're saying if we find the right data points or information, right, and we fix our personal credit to a level that the bank is looking for,
Correct.
then we can finance any of the dreams and visions that we have that's inside of us.
Absolutely correct.
Okay, yes, sir, thank you.
And not just that, but I want to just double back on that as well, because I hear a lot of entrepreneurs, and I'm gonna leave with this, right? I hear a lot of entrepreneurs say they want to do multiple things, and this is fine and dandy. But I'm telling you, if you give 100%, you don't have but a lot of 100% you can give out. If you focus on one thing and give it 130%, what happens is those doors open because now you're an expert in this one particular thing, and what happens is it opens up doors for multiple things. Because business is going to expand, and more opportunity comes to you when you have a good product. Because hey, you want to do this, you need a food truck. Oh, okay, now we need to get you a restaurant. I don't know if you guys kind of look at things like that, like entrepreneurs who started from one thing and they kind of started to multiple things. Not only did they have a restaurant or a food truck, they also got seasons. They got television shows. They're on YouTube. So it's going to take you to different directions, but have a concentrated focus on something that you enjoy doing. Me, I wake up every day, 4 o'clock in the morning, looking at CNBC, watching money, looking at videos, reading books, understanding who J.P. Morgan is, understanding debt cycles, understanding what's going on in the world and the economy. Not just because I want to be aware of what's going on in the world, I need to know where the money is going. So other than that, my name is Energy. Follow me on IG. Energy is everything _80.
Yeah, go ahead.
Peace, Kings. I want you to understand that everybody been saying the same thing. And if you don't understand that that's what he was going to talk about, that's what he was going to talk about, that's what I was going to talk about, there is a God that's shining on y'all in this room right now.
Yeah.
Don't miss this knowledge. There are 3 swords that a king has. 3 swords, okay? Content, in this day and time, credit, and knowledge. Those are his 3 swords. If he carry those 3, he can provide for his kingdom. All right? Thank you guys for listening. I have cards as well, guys.
Listen, Kings, I learned the credit game at 22 years old. And the credit game allowed me to buy my first property for myself, which was a 2-family home, a duplex. I lived in one unit, rented the other unit out. And it had 4 acres of land as well. I was able to buy that 100% financing, and I put no money down, and the bank gave me a loan at 25 years old for $325,000. The bank gave me all the money for the house. Then I got another property for $189,000, 2-family. 100% financing from the bank. It was able to have millions of dollars of real estate that the bank financed. Everybody say TBM.
TBM.
That's the bank's money. The bank financed my real estate to have me get rental properties and cash flow. And then here's the cool part about it, check it out. You go to the bank, right? You buy a multi-family condo, single family land, whatever. Cool, you got your rental income. That's coming to you, right? You the landlord, the lord of the land. You get your rental income. You might live in one unit, you might rent both of them out. The bank finances you. But check it out, over time, this property goes up in value. It's called appreciation. Everybody say appreciate.
Appreciate.
That something goes up in value. Cars depreciate. When you put all of the diamonds in your watches and all of that, it depreciates the value, right? It goes down in value. But when something goes up in value, it creates equity. Equity is the difference between what you owe on a property, whatever you owe the bank, 325, a 0, whatever. Whatever you owe on a property, but over time, properties go up in value because people want to move somewhere and to live somewhere. Supply and demand. So we all living longer, being healthier, vegans, all of that, making more babies, living longer, but God ain't making no more land. So there's more people on earth for the same amount of land. So properties go up in value. So now if I buy a property for $325,000, but in 6 years, 5 years, 3 years, 8 years, the property is now worth $400,000. The difference between what I owe on a property and what it's worth is how much? 75,000. I owe $325, it's worth 400. It's worth 75,000. Well, I can go to the bank and get a loan on this equity, totally tax-free, even though the bank is the one that financed the deal in the first place. So now I got rental income from the property off the bank's money. The property go up in value, I get to snatch that value from the bank's money. I get to write off my taxes. I got a place for my family to live, and all this dominion, power, and control. Not only do I own this real estate asset, I own the land and the mineral rights below the real estate.
Right.
If we find oil on the property, it's mine. We find gold on the property, it's mine.
Right.
We find diamonds on the property, it's mine. We want to plant greens on the property, agriculture, have a chicken farm, all that's mine. And we own the air rights above the property. Hey, we want to build up in a few years and make some more units up here. We got air rights above the property that we own. But it's not even a real estate lesson. It's a credit lesson. It's a finance lesson. How to use the bank's money in order to fulfill our dreams. And the cool part about using the bank's money is this. In the hood, if I borrow $8,000 from you, if I borrow $800 from you and I don't pay you back, we might got problems. Over $800. Over 80.
Not even 80.
$8. So you owe me $10 and not giving me $9.
Hey man, nah, folks get killed over $10 for real, bro.
For every day, B?
Yeah.
The cool part about the bank is you can borrow $10 million from the bank. And your vision don't materialize how you thought and it don't work out, ain't nobody pulling up on you. They gonna send you a letter in the mail.
Gangsters.
An angry letter. Sir, please. Turn on 10 million.
Third attempt.
This is our last stance. I want all the 10 million is my last stance. We're gonna take further action.
Well, how can we work this out? Because it's so big.
Right. You know what? Since you owe us so much, give us 7. We'll call it even. What can we do? Matter of fact, we're going to give you 5 more million to make back the 10. How about that? The banks will give you more money to help make back their money. And nobody pulling up on you. And if all goes to hell, your credit can still be rebuilt, restored, repaired, and recycled, used again.
Again and again.
That's right. This is the magic of unlocking true wealth and true power. We gotta understand finance. So what we're gonna be doing, talking to King Reg about it, is we're gonna have all kind of trades being taught here. Welding, HVAC, where we're looking to give you guys skills. But imagine making $100,000 a year doing HVAC or welding or something else, but then knowing this game too.
Oh, I need to
You
do.
using that $100,000 to build your credit report up to secure credit cards, secure loans, paying off all those stupid cell phone bills you had. Using that money to build your credit to go get more wealth. And then using your job income to be able to go to the banks and show your W-2s and your pay stubs to be able to get even more leverage and income off of your credit and off of your circumstance. Like this is how we start building. So one thing we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna start having a curriculum on being a money broker. This is how I got on, y'all. This is how I still live. Listen, this is what I do. You know what Jay Morrison do? I don't do real estate. You're right. I'm like, yeah, Jay doesn't do real estate. You're right. I sell money. I just happen to own and control a lot of real estate, but what I do, I sell money. I just sold some money 2 weeks ago, $60,000. I'll give you $60,000, you're gonna give me back 12 to 16% interest, some points and some fees. Before that, I just sold $145,000. I sell money. And we just got a partnership with a few different banks and mortgage companies where we're gonna have up to $200 million a month to sell. Putting more money back into our community. We want our fair share, but if we need capital, we are gonna be money providers. Now, I don't wanna sell money. I wanna teach you all how to sell money, and y'all come on board and we sell money together. I'll get the big bag, let's sell the money together, and then you get your commissions and your points for selling the money. Money is the easiest thing in the world to sell. You wanna sell t-shirts? Bro, sell somebody $100,000. You want to sell a t-shirt. You want to be a water boy. Be a money boy. Be a money man. That's what we're going to teach here is how to sell money, create money brokers here, how to build you all's credit, but go into all these small businesses in Atlanta. And not even Atlanta, because you got the whole internet, the World Wide Web. Who wants some money? I got some. Here's my guidelines, here's my terms. So we're going to teach you all this trade and skill of selling money in addition to your vocational trades and skills. We want to get your finance game up. I learned that at 22 years old, coming out the hood, South Tiffin, Springfield, Newark, New Jersey, coming out 2.5 years in prison. I was selling shoes on parole. I was working in a warehouse on parole. I did telemarketing on parole. And somebody gave me a card in a men's group meeting on a Saturday like this. They said, my wife is a mortgage broker. She sells money. I want you to interview. I did that. I made $6 grand in 30 days. I sold money to my grandma, refinanced her house, rest in peace. Sold money to my aunt. It made $6 grand in under 45 days. First time out the gate. I've been turned out ever since. You look at the fund manager of the largest black-owned real estate crowdfund in the history of America. Never been to college. And a 3-time credit. So learning these skills. So we're gonna wrap for the day, but that's gonna be one of our primary core curriculums from BBA. That's what I want to contribute, is to teach y'all this finance skill and how to sell money. You'll feed your family forever. Money never going out of style. All right, so we're gonna feed you all. I believe refreshments are here and all of that. We're gonna wrap up. Everybody give a big round of applause, a hand for yourselves today. So again, every first and third Saturday, I do plan to move to every Saturday. We're gonna start doing community work out in the community. We wanna be the men that they see actually building up our queens, supporting the community, cleanups, helping little old ladies, senior centers, whatever it is. We gotta be the example we wanna see. Ain't nobody coming to save us but us.
I'll make an announcement. There's actually a community cleanup going on today. If you guys know, Attorney Mallory Davis, he's a pretty big kind of civil rights attorney here in the city. He's actually meeting at 2:30 at the East Point Piggly Wiggly's parking lot, 3100 Washington Road at 2:30. You guys want to do something in the community, help clean up, help some elderly people. Today, 2:30 at the Piggly Wiggly parking lot, 3100 Washington Road. Also want to make the announcement about our upcoming men's retreat. We're going to be fishing, teaching young kings how to get out and survive in the wilderness. By show of hands, Kenny, do you have that sign in? Clipboard? Yeah. Let's get a separate sheet. Can you pull a fresh sheet out, please? And put fishing retreat at the top. By show of hands, who wants to learn how to fish, get outdoors, get your own fishing pole, all of that? Raise your hand, please, high. I see a lot more hands than that. Perfect. Ken Keenan, please get those names, please. First name, last name, email, and phone number. All right? If you have an interest in the fishing thing, we want to get you guys to come out. It's going to be a special event. We got some special kings coming out. It's going to be a little different than what you guys are used to. We're going to do that, all right? All right. All right, so thank you all for your time. We'll be back here again, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, August 6th. Same time, same place.